All right. Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. If I haven't spoken to you at all this year. My name is Davon Reeves, the CEO and founder of Vesterr, and we're going to talk about the state of crowdfunding today. So why it matters. So just a little story before we get into Vesterr. So about 10 years ago, you really could not invest in institutional quality products or investments because they were reserved for accredited investors, right? So either you needed the right connections, the right check size, the right last name, um, and you didn't have that access. So it wasn't until 2012, former President Obama and his administration, they developed what is called the Jobs Act, and out of that came Regulation CF, which stands for Regulation Crowdfunding, where folks who are non-accredited investors can invest in opportunities. So what does that mean? Accredited investors is someone who has a net worth of $1 million or more, or a income of 200,000 or more. So I just wanted to start off with that. So 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we wouldn't have been able to have this conversation. It would have been hard for some folks to invest in hotels, assets like hotels, or assets like Dr. V's project in Jacksonville, because you would have had to been an accredited investor, or you had to know somebody, right? All right, so we're going to talk about today. Those are our first investors who invested in a project and when we were in Lake Charles. So we're gonna talk about what crowdfunding is, the state of it, what's changing, and how Vesterr will be a part of it. All right. So for those who don't know what crowdfunding is, I think a lot of people on this call may know, but we're gonna start it off. So crowdfunding, what crowdfunding is, has everybody heard of GoFundMe? I feel like that's probably the most recognizable crowdfunding out there. All right. So GoFundMe is a type of crowdfunding. It is more so a type of a donation-based crowdfunding. So if you contribute to GoFundMe, you're not getting a type of equity, you're not getting the ownership, you're donating, for a cause, right? Something that you want to contribute. So crowdfunding or Regulation CF made it possible for everyday professionals to invest, as I mentioned before, in institutions and private. Oh, that seems like it's my little one. Okay, sorry about that. My little one always wants to make an appearance. Okay. And so for the record, over $20 billion has been raised through real estate equity crowdfunding. So funding deals such as the hotel acquisition deals and development deals, soon to be Dr. V's deals, her project in Jacksonville. So access has definitely changed the game, right? All right. So there are some growing pains of crowdfunding, right? Every industry has a moment where it grows up to something that's become more and more available. So crowdfunding, as I mentioned before, is something that's called retail investors. So what retail investors are people like you and myself, because we're not institutions who are investing. So we're not, some folks in our private equity firms or pension funds. We're just individuals who perhaps maybe using our savings or investment to invest. Right. So there are a lot of crowdfunding platforms that started and they did not make it. I'm proud to say that we are in our fourth year at Vesterr. So we have definitely have beat that statistic. So glad that we are still here and still moving. There are a lot of different, so there's reward based, there's equity based, and there's debt based. And so Vesterr is more so on the equity based side. All right, so the current state of crowdfunding. So real estate crowdfunding platforms have raised more than 15 billion for property deals. So typically the average investor returns ranges from 8% to 12%, depending on the asset class. Um, Compliance and disclosures are definitely are becoming table stakes. So now I'm getting into Vesterr and what Vesterr is. So Vesterr, we are a commercial real estate crowdfunding platform where we connect investors to deal sponsors. So how it works. So you have the investor who would invest in a project using our third-party agent, so a secure escrow. Deal entity, meaning you're investing in a project, and then the funds are released only after the requirements are met. So that's how it works here on Vesterr, for those who don't know. So why we exist, that's me, on our first day, our launch day, 7/11/22. So we are definitely building for the next chapter of crowdfunding. We focus on educating before asking capital, supporting serious deal sponsors. We only focus on commercial real estate, including hotels, and we definitely prioritize trust over hype. And so what that means, so every deal that comes on the platform, on the crowdfunding platform, we vetted them. They have to go through a background check. As a crowdfunding platform, we are regulated, meaning we are regulated by the SEC, which stands for the Securities Exchange Commission. So a part of that trust, we're just not just a website. So these are our current deals that we have on the platform. We have La Antigua, which is a development deal in Puerto Rico. It'll be closing at the end of the month. Richlands Marriott Hotel Development. It's a Fairfield Inn development in Richlands, North Carolina, which is outside of Jacksonville, North Carolina. And then we have La Villa, the new La Villa, which is a mixed-use development project in Jacksonville, Florida. And it's closing at the end of this month as well. So for those who were at VesterrCon last year, you may be familiar, remember these deals. Some of our previous deals that we had our first deal that closed, the AJA Investments Hotel Investment Opportunity, which is a Wyndham Hotel, a Holiday Inn converted to a Wyndham in Lake Charles, Louisiana. We had the We Stay Suites in Belle Chase, Louisiana, Genesis Development Capital, which is a car wash development, and then an RDL fund, which is a hotel fund. So those are our previous deals that we've closed and we've converted and created some new hotel investors and commercial real estate investors. To stay and make sure that you are following us, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook. Make sure if you have any questions, invest at vesterr.com. If you want to learn more about how you can invest in deals on Vesterr, definitely want to stay on that, answer any questions that you all may have, or if you're looking to raise capital for your particular projects. All right, so enough of me talking, and it's here for you all to answer any questions. Oh, good evening from the UK. Excellent. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to leave this up here. Okay, I'm going to open it up for questions. I will say before we get into questions, what to expect for Vesterr in 2026, or what to expect from Vesterr in 2026. We do plan, of course, to offer more deals. We'll be having VesterrCon in October of 2026. We'll be having our monthly webinars, and we will continue to bring new deals. And hopefully by the end of the year, we would have changed. We unveiling our new website. So it's definitely more to come, and us getting more into the international space and becoming a broker dealer. All right, so we have a hand raise. Okay, let me see. I can take you off of mute. Oh, let's see. Let me put it. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Hi, and good evening, everyone. I just wanted to ask you a quick question. How many rounds typically do you have to do to get enough funding to go ahead with the project? I'm looking at the site, and there's several minimums, right? Where it's 5,000, but you're trying to raise like maybe 2 or 3 million. So I'm just wondering how many rounds you go through, and if the rounds not watered down, but if the rounds affect the funding of the first round.
Okay, make sure I'm understanding it. So that's a great question. So a lot of that depends on the deals, not necessarily the rounds. With the more specifically with the La Antigua deal, I'll take a step back with the La Antigua deal, which is on our site. they open it up for another round because it's something that they were able to do. Not all sponsors do that, meaning deal sponsors, they open it up for a second round. It just depends on the deal. It depends on what's needed for the deal. And they set the minimum. So I believe La Antigua is 5,000. I think Richlands is 20, and I think La Villa is 10. So it's based on the deal on and what to expect from the deal sponsor. So hopefully that answers the question. Oh, hi, Miss Shirley. Will VesterCon be in DC again? Yes, it will be in DC. See Miss Shirley. Hey, Miss Shirley. See Lonnie. Hey, y'all. Okay, was another question. Okay.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. So I see the um, Richlands Marriott Hotel development.
Correct. Yes.
Do you work with the people who help develop the land? Like I know some people in North Carolina that may be willing to partner and get involved in it.
So as a platform, okay, so let me take a step back so that way you can understand how it works. So with each deal that comes on the platform, we vet the deal sponsors, right? So we don't necessarily consult them, but they come to us pretty much project ready and they need equity partners. I believe if you want to reach out to the deal sponsors directly, if you go onto their page, they should have contact information and then you can reach out to them. Because a lot of these deals, they come pretty much shovel ready. They just need the final part, which is the equity. Hi, is that Easton? Oh, I'm mute. Hi, Easton. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Davon? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. So my question is a little bit more about on the sponsorship side. So let's say you find a deal that you want to bring to the Vesterr platform as a sponsor. What does that process look like?
Oh, great. So what that process looks like, two things. That's probably the most important thing. You need to have the deal. You have to have site control of the deal. That's the first thing. So either it needs to be under contract or you need to own the land or the project, wherever the parcel is, or somebody in your ownership group owns it. That's the only way. If you don't, then you can't really go any further.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the reason why, because it protects so our job as a crowdfunding portal is to protect the investors, right? So we would hate to raise money for something that you don't have any control over, meaning you're raising for a deal that you found, online or word of mouth, and you're raising all this money for equity, and then somebody else who has control end up taking it over, and there's nothing you can do. So
Right.
that's why we have those stipulations in place. So then
Right.
that's the first thing. And then the second thing is once we do our due diligence on a deal, making sure it's an actual deal. And then we also do so it's a non-refundable onboarding fee of 2,500. And that includes background checks, that includes the escrow agent opening as well as the compliance part. And so also when we do the background checks and we do the due diligence, and so then you have to hire, which is separate, a lawyer, which we recommend, and we have recommendations to help fill out your Form C. So your Form C, it's basically it outlines all the risk, and that has to go through the SEC, which is the Securities Exchange Commission. And then so it's about a 4 to 6 week process for the due diligence and for the compliance part. So I wouldn't recommend coming to Vesterr if you need money in 30 days. It's not gonna work. Like it's not gonna happen. So because the process alone the legal process alone will take 4 to 6 weeks. So I would say
Right.
come to us when your LOI has been submitted and it's been approved, and now you're going back and forth with the PSA negotiations, because at least because it's going to take that long anyway. So that's when I would come to us.
Got it. No,
Yep.
I appreciate that. And then my next question is, have you ever done a deal where there's been creative financing involved? Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So you understand that, is a deal like that, could a deal like that get funded investor? Let's say if the current owner, maybe they weren't even interested in selling the whole thing. Maybe they just want a 40% position, right? And they're going to sell
Like seller
60% on.
financing.
Right, exactly. But then as the new partner, you would need to raise X amount to satisfy your end of the contract.
Yeah, that's doable. And the reason why it's doable, because as long as somebody on the owner, because he or she would technically still be the owner. So as
Hmm.
long as somebody on the ownership group has control of the site, and of course you'll provide your paperwork and everything. But it can be done. It's just that that particular person, since they're the owner, they will have to undergo a background check. So hopefully they pass. So, because if you don't pass the background check, I don't care who you are, you can't get on
Yeah.
board.
Okay. I might need your help in recommending somebody, like you said, a legal recommendation, maybe somebody to help me vet the financials as well for the deal.
Oh, oh, you wouldn't need a legal person. You'll just need a hotel consultant. I have somebody for you. The
Okay.
legal person would help with structuring the paper
Right.
for like the seller financing, but somebody to
Right.
help you vet the financials. So yeah, just send me
Yeah.
a
Both.
message, and then you got my email.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I got it. I'll shoot you
Okay,
something.
and then send it to me, and that way I can connect you with the consultant and they can walk you through it. But
Okay. Appreciate it, Vaughn.
no problem. We're gonna get you your hotel. You said it.
Look,
You've been rocking with me for some years. We gonna get your hotel.
I appreciate it. I think you would actually like this deal. It's a boutique hotel in Thailand.
Oh,
Oh, would
okay.
that not work?
So with Vesterr, we're not regulated yet to
And
do international deals. We probably won't be until the end of the year.
okay. No, that's fair. It's good to
I'll
know, though.
still connect. I'm glad you said it was international, because then I need to connect you with a different international consultant. I need to connect you with an
Okay.
international consultant.
Okay. Perfect.
I think they've
Appreciate it.
done deals in Thailand or something.
All right. I'm with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Hi, Miss Mona. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to see you again.
Same
Um,
here.
Thanks. So, two questions.
Yeah.
Are there any asset classes that Vestor will not take on for investment purposes for crowdfunding?
That's a great question. So we only do commercial real estate. So we'll do any type of commercial real estate as long as it's commercial real estate. So we don't fund, there's some crowdfunding portals that fund startups, that fund, businesses. Yeah, we don't do that. It's just only commercial real estate.
Okay, so it could be self-storage, it could be a vineyard with a hotel, it could be anything
Yeah,
like
as
that.
long as it's commercial real estate. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. All
Thank
right.
you.
And then one quick question too.
Yeah.
Difference between your crowdfunding platform and a syndication.
Um, that's a great question. So the difference between so essentially is kind of like a syndication, because it's multiple people coming in and investing. The difference with the syndication, we're online. A syndication is more so is you're working with people individually. You have to find the people individually. Um, Also with Rec CF, there are different restrictions. Like we only can raise up to 5 million, depending on your syndicate. There's no limit. Also with us, we accept both accredited and non-accredited investors. Some syndicate or some syndications, they only can do accredited investors. Also, with some syndications, you can't market. With Vesterr, we can market. So, meaning if you put your deal on Vesterr, of course, there's some still marketing rules that apply, but you can do a press release. You can do ads to your deal as opposed to some syndications, depending on how it's structured, you're not able to do that.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw a deal yesterday. It's a winery in California, and they only accept accredited
Oh,
investors.
I know the deal that you're talking about. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're not going through, they're just doing syndication.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also with crowdfunding, the minimum can be lower. Like some syndicates, they have minimum where it's 50 to 100, right? So crowdfunding, it just makes it where it's more accessible.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, let me see. These are some good questions. Okay. 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 All right. It says, can you share any deals that are in the pipeline? Okay. So these are the deals that we have on the site now. The La Antigua, which is a hotel development investment opportunity in Puerto Rico, the Richlands Hotel opportunity and outside of Jacksonville, North Carolina, and then La Villa, Dr. V, she was just on. That's the tentative deals that we have now. We do have some deals that people have applied to become to get on the platform, but there's still some compliance that they're still going through. So I typically don't mention those until they're closer or further along in their compliance. So we got another question. It says, I'm doing a development in Belize, which is a condo development with 3 penthouses with sea view. Nice. I know that Gaia did some work with you on your platform from where I'm working on legalities at the moment. Architecture and designs have been completed. We are currently setting up the investment vehicle. What would I need to do to have in place and what time is the right? Oh, okay. I would send a note, Clinton, to hold on. Is there a way to where I can respond? Let's see. Here, I would send a note to invest at Vesterr. The biggest thing is you need to have site control of the deal. That's the biggest thing. Like the deal in Gai, they changed their structure. That's why they're no longer on Vesterr or raising capital. They changed their business structure. They had site control. They owned the land. So what about Colombia? Yes, we are going to Colombia in February. So for those who would like to attend, just send a note. Oh, you're muted. Oh, okay. I don't know. Are you still trying to say something? Okay, I'm muted. Thank you. I do have site control. Yeah, just send a note in the pitch deck to invest@vesterr.com so that way we can take a look at it. Okay. So Vanessa, you have your hand up. Okay.
I
All right.
do.
Okay.
Thank you for having this session. My question is whether or not you have any investors that have received their return on equity that would be able to talk about their experience with the investment that they had with the entity that is working with Vesterr.
So you want to know, make sure I understand your question. So do we have any, I guess,
Any
results to
investors?
share?
Yeah, but from an individual investor in a project who has received their return on equity, they've made their money and they're out of that particular investment, or they decided to invest more based on an initial experience with a Vesterr project, I should say. It's not necessarily I'm really interested in knowing what an investor in a project that is under Vester's umbrella has experienced?
So none of the deals on Vesterr, the investors received their full return because they haven't sold. None of the hotels have sold yet. Um, so the first deal that successfully raised capital was last year, so they're in their second year. But so far we haven't received any complaints because we keep in contact with the deal sponsors, and so the deal sponsors have been keeping in communication with the investors. I would say it's too soon to tell because a lot of the deals are new acquisitions, and since we only deal with commercial real estate, the return on investment is a lot longer. It takes when I mean return on investment, to get your full principal back can take between 4 to 5 years, and to get their full return back. So hopefully that answered your question.
It does somewhat. I'm really thinking about the way things appear to be structured for the new La Villa, which, as I understand it, within 3 to 5 years, there's going to be refinancing in the works, and then the initial investors can receive their return on investments and back out, or they can stay in.
She just left. Oh, she was just on the call. That would have been a perfect person to answer. So, from my understanding from the deal, I have to get you all. Let me make sure who's this. Okay, Vanessa. So I believe, and I may have. I'm going to connect you all directly because she's the best person to answer that question because it's her deal. But from my understanding and from what I remember, is that you're able to receive your return from the refinancing. But I would love to connect you all directly, especially since it's the end of it's closing at the end of the month. So that way you can get the question answered.
Yeah, I'll contact Dr. V directly. I was just interested in speaking to someone who has done such a deal, but it appears maybe this is the first time that this type of deal is being
Now, on
structured.
my deals personally, yes, but on the deals on the platform, no, because the platform, these are newer deals. I will say there are a lot of folks who they've invested in just about every deal that's on the Vesterr platform, with some folks, receiving dividends, or they're receiving updates, right? And then a lot of the deals that folks are investing in, it was a year hold period, so they haven't received any dividends. And now, since the period is about to be over, there's been some communications with dividends for the deals on Vesterr.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. These are some great questions. Okay. We have any other questions? No. Okay. Yeah, this is just more so just letting you all know what we've accomplished, what's to store. Dr. V, I'm going to share this. She had an article. I'm going to share it for you all to read. She does a pretty good job of, and it talks about crowdfunding. So I'm going to put it in the chat for you all to read. And then I'll share it in the recap too. Okay. Oh, wait. There's some questions. Okay. I'm part of the intercept with investing to help me become an accredited investor. Oh, we need to talk, Dr. Jackson. I've been trying to get a hold of you. So can you send me a note? I've been trying to get a hold of you for months. I'm glad to see you. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Jackson, we got to talk offline. But to answer your question, so to become an accredited investor, I'm gonna answer this so that way, so it won't be so specific. But to become an accredited investor, you have to have an income. It's several ways to become an accredited investor. One way is to have an income of 200,000 or more. That's an accredited investor for like the past 2 years, if you want to get specific. Or you have a net worth of $1 million or more, excluding your primary residence. So if your house is $1 million or the worth is worth $1 million, you're not an accredited investor. But if you have a real estate portfolio of $2 million and your house is worth $1 million, then technically you're an accredited investor, right? Because outside of your home, your net worth is $1 million, right? So your net worth can be your stock portfolio. It can be the equity in your investment properties. It can be your cash. It can be the cash value of your life insurance. All of that is considered equity, right? Or the assets in your balance sheet. That's equity. And another way that you can also become, you could take a test to become accredited. You can become licensed, like if you're a licensed financial advisor, regardless of what your income or net worth, you're an accredited investor. If you have a business that is, generating over $1 million in revenue, then you're an accredited investor. So a lot of times people, they don't know that. So to answer Dr. Jackson's question for everyone, so let's say you invest in a property and let's say your net worth is, I don't know, 800,000, and you invest in real estate, and based off your percentage of equity, it's 215. So that pushes you over the edge of the requirements. So I wouldn't look at more so the dollar amount, but look more so the percentage of equity and the total amount of the project. And so your position, and so all of that is a part of your asset. So if your percentage of equity, so let's say it's $1 million. Let's say it's the equity of this building that you're a part of, a hotel, is $1 million, and you have 10% equity in that deal. That's equivalent to 100,000. That's a part of your net worth. Does that help? Hopefully that helps people get a better understanding. Okay. So then it says, can you explain again why deals open up for another round? Is it financial concerns or just them trying to raise more capital? Meaning, is it standard to close but for another round? It depends on the deal. Sometimes what happens, and it varies. Sometimes the deal, the lender says you have 90 days to close at this amount, right? And so then for whatever reason, there's been an extension. So now there's more time to bring in equity. Sometimes the lender says you have to put up, you only can put up 10% equity. And then, 10% equity. And they come back and say, okay, now you need 20%. So sometimes that's why it changes, because it depends on the deal. Right. I wouldn't say it's necessarily financial concerns. It could just really just be on a deal. And Vesterr, we have to disclose why. So we disclose why. And then the deal sponsor discloses why as well. So hopefully that helps. And that's a good question to ask. And when you're talking to the deal sponsors, you can ask, why is there another round? Are there any financial concerns? That's a very valid question to ask. Since I don't have any questions, I'm just soaking up all the information. Well, I hope you're learning. Oh, good. Okay. It says, I'm an accredited investor, and I'm an investor in other hotels and multifamily. Do you have any past performance stats that you can share? And is this an equity deal? I do for my personal hotel portfolio, but not for Vesterr. And the reason why, as I mentioned before, the deals that are on Vesterr, and the deals that have successfully raised capital for Vesterr, they're new deals. So we don't have any true past performance because they're all new deals. They're like matter of fact, the first deal that raised capital successfully, they're entering in they just finished their first year and they had a renovation, right? So it's really not a lot to give as far as past performance statistics. Pretty much all the deals that are on Vesterr are equity deals. The We Stay Suites, they just closed, I believe, in April. So they're coming up on a year. RDL, they're under contract for some hotels. And the car wash deal, that was more of a 3-year development deal. So true like stats that you're looking for the past performance of the hotels or the projects, we don't all we have are mostly updates, or they have mostly updates, but not the stats that you need because they haven't completed their full cycle. Does that answer your question? It doesn't. I know it's not what you're looking for, but it's not the statistics that you need. Like, what was the true return on the investment? What was it's not there because this hotel is still there. So it's no return yet because they haven't done a refinancing or anything like that. And it says, okay. I said Vest is only for commercial, but any plans to residential? No, no residential. I don't want to, I don't want to get into residential. I want to just stick with commercial. And the reason why is just, personal reasons. I know more about commercial than residential. And there's so many other platforms that do residential. Like we don't need to get into that space. There's a lot of real estate platforms out there that just handles residential, and it's just a different type of deal sponsor and investor. So we're just gonna stick with commercial and stick with what we know. Oh, it's Mr. Steven. Okay. How you doing?
Happy New Year. I'm doing
Happy
very
New
well.
Year.
Thank you. Thank you. My camera is broken.
It's okay.
As you can
I know
see.
what you look like.
All right. See, it won't pop up. But very briefly, this may be a past performance question. So once a deal is posted on Vesterr and money is raised and then it's taken off of Vesterr, does Vesterr do any kind of follow-up periodic past performance as how it's doing, or do the companies that have used Vesterr, do they ever come back and give you kind of update? Here's what's going on. Here's what I'm providing to the investors that for equity purposes.
They do. So to answer your question, as I mentioned before, once they exit, we'll be able to really show the stats. Right now, we don't really have true other than who invested and how much was invested, but we don't have any performance stats because it's just been a year. Like one of the hotels, they just completed a renovation and nobody has sold their assets or completed a refinance. Once that happens, then we'll be able to update that, and then we're just waiting to get the information from the updates since it's the year end to get the updates from our deal sponsors.
Got you. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. It says I just signed up for a platform for residential real estate to get monthly dividends. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are other platforms, and also what makes Vesterr different from other platforms, like Arrive is a platform where they own the asset. We don't own the asset. So it's other people's asset. Does that make sense? We're just connecting investors to the deal sponsors. So there are platforms where you're investing in an asset that's owned by the platform, but we don't own any of the assets. That's another reason why we can't give that. But that will be changing. We got a question. All right, Mr. Alice says, what is your projected ROI, IRR, and cash over cash NOI projection? Is this for Vesterr or are they for deals on the Vesterr? Is this for Vesterr, the company itself, or is it for the deals that are on Vesterr? Okay. Okay. All righty. Okay. It says Deal on this call. Oh, okay, the deal on this call. So we've been talking about the deals on the calls. We've been talking about deals across the platform. So the Puerto Rico deal, here, let me just give you the link. That way you can look at it. That'll probably be better. I'll do that for you, okay? And that way you can look at all the deals individually. Okay, that's the website. Hold on. Let me get it to you, Alex, so you can see. Those are all the deals on the site, so you can see what you can invest in. Okay. And so it has Nicole. Have you worked with any deals that involve SWFs? If so, how does that factor into being able to use the platform? SWF, what's that? What's SWF? I don't think we're thinking the same thing. Oh, sovereign wealth funds. Okay. No, we haven't worked with any deals with sovereign wealth funds because currently at the moment we can't accept foreign funds, and we don't do really foreign investments. The Belize was a little different because even the deal is in Belize, the owners are American, and so how it was structured, it was American. But so no, to answer your question, Vesterr hasn't worked with several. I've worked personally with several wealth funds, but not Vesterr. 10,000 is the minimum for the new La Villa. Yes. Okay, it says the minimum to get on Vesterr is 506. Yeah, for it to make sense. Well, no, I take that back. Really 250 because the Puerto Rico deal, their first raise, they did 250,000 for their deal. Miss Vanessa, do you need Dr. V's information? Or do you already have it? Do I need to connect y'all? Okay. Okay. All right. No, these are some good questions. Okay. All right. So do we have any more questions about Vesterr? Okay. Okay. Did I answer all the questions? I think I did. Well, if there are any more questions, I appreciate you all for tuning in tonight. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you understand Vesterr more, hopefully understand to see where crowdfunding will be headed, and where it's headed for us this year in 2026. Definitely more deals. We focus more on equity deals. Things will be changing. So we'll be coming soon. I can't disclose some information yet, but there'll definitely be some changes with Vesterr, some good one. Some more investment opportunities. So if there are not any more questions, I appreciate you all, and you all have an amazing night. And there are a couple deals that are closing this month at the end of the month. You have the new La Villa deal and the the hotel in Puerto Rico deal. Oh, okay, before I leave. So I was asked to share my background, so which I didn't do, so my apologies. For those who don't know who I am, I know a lot of folks do. Um, I actually got my start off as a front desk agent, working at the Hyatt Regency Atlanta, and I got into hotel ownership. Out probably about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, working in asset management, and what led me to Vesterr was, while I was raising capital for my first project in Oklahoma, there wasn't a Vesterr out there, meaning there wasn't a space for us to space for people like me, non-accredited investors or first time uh, hotel owners to raise capital publicly. And so that which led me to Vesterr. Three so from 2020 is when I acquired my first hotel, and it was in Oklahoma. We bought that. We did a little creative financing with that one. We was 8.3 million, and we raised through friends and family about close to 1 million. And then the next year we raised we bought two hotels for 17.8, and we not just sold it, we sold it early this year for 22 million, which led to a 1.5x return for our investors. And the difference between what I did personally and what we're doing now with Vesterr. Vesterr, as I mentioned before, they're not my deals, they're other folks' deals. And so just created that platform for people who wanted to do their own projects, to connect them with investors to deal sponsors. So something I wish I would have had for a fee. So we make money from charging a fee of up to 5% per deal or per raise. And so that's how Vesterr came about. So that's why when I mentioned my previous deals for past performance, we just can't do it for the current deals because they haven't gotten to fruition. May you please share your lip color. It's beautiful. Thank you. It is I got it from the liners from the lip bar. Oh no, I don't have my lipstick with me. It's red something. The lipstick is MAC. That I know is MAC. And I put like a liner. When I Vashti, send me a note and then I'll respond back. Hold on, send it to here. Here, send it here. So I can find. I had to take a picture and send it to you. Thank you. I just put it together today. I was like, ooh, but the liners from the lip bar. So I had to support a Black-owned business. So yeah, liners from the lip bar. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure I didn't get any questions. What's a good contact email for me? Okay. Let me put this in here. Invest@vesterr.com. Make sure you all are make sure you all are following us on LinkedIn and Facebook. We appreciate you. Lip color looks like Rebel. Yeah, I don't know what color it is, but I just know it's red, and it's the lip liner. It's the lip. I usually wear this red lip gloss, but I can't find it, so I had to do my lipstick today. Had to look nice for y'all. I had to put on the whole face. Okay, well, not a whole face, half a face. It says Ruby Woo looks like the same color I wear. Maybe. Great session as always. Thank you. I'll be in touch once I complete the investment vehicle and structure. Oh, yes, I'm still on Instagram. Vesterr isn't on Instagram yet. VesterrCon is. Okay. Just join. Okay. Learning as I go. Is there a minimum investment? I realize every deal is different. What investment number do I need to aim for? Sorry, I had to say, no worries. So the lowest investment minimum we have, there's the hotel development opportunity in Puerto Rico, which is 5,000. Then there's the new La Villa deal in Jacksonville, that's 10,000. And then the Richlands deal was 20,000. So there are different ranges. Here, let me put this here so you can go to the deals. I put the link so that way you all can go to the deals. It says, do I help nonprofits with owning hotel for victims? I mean, we help folks. I'm gonna say we help folks. I mean, I can connect you. I would say you still need money, so it's not like you can get it for free just because it's a nonprofit. Nonprofits, they do buy hotels, so I'm not saying that they don't buy hotels. I would say for you to get started will probably be looking into to help you get the equity. One, you're gonna need somebody to sign for the loan, like because it's still a business, so you'll have to either have yourself or someone or a company to sign for the loan. And as far as the equity portion of it, sometimes there are grants that can help, but you'll need a lot because you still need 20 to 30% down. So you still have to treat it like a business. It's still real estate. It's just that you need the money to do it. So I wouldn't look at it. It's just, because it's like, how are you gonna make money? It's probably gonna be like a lot of grants. And how are you gonna, because how are you gonna, is it a hotel or is it like a apartment? Like I wouldn't treat it like a hotel because typically with those type of situations, they don't need to stay in there for longer than a couple days. They need a couple months. So I don't know if I would. There you go. Connections right there. Boom. Yeah. I would, yeah, that's what I would do. I would connect with somebody to help out with grants because you're gonna need a lot of money. And I don't know if I would do a hotel. I would do like some type of multifamily. I don't know if I would do that. Because hotels typically people stay for a couple nights, maybe, but I would do multifamily. And then you could get more grants. Yeah. Okay. I love that. Thank you for jumping in, Angela. That's amazing. Okay, it says my question is regarding the 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 you mentioned a few months ago. Oh, here, let me put the website in here. Let me just put the website in. Those are the deals that we have on the platform where you can invest. So I believe the La Antigua, the minimum to invest is 5,000. Of course, do your homework, do your research. 10,000 for, I believe, La Villa, and then 20,000 for the Richlands. So I put the link in the chat so that way you can view the deals. And if you aren't on our newsletter, make sure you get on our newsletter. We appreciate you. I think that's it. So we done talked from hotels to commercial real estate to lipstick. You never know what you're going to get on these webinars. Do you have a book that outlines the appropriate due diligence? I would say, so every deal that we have on a site has a Form C. And then we have our FAQs. We have blogs. We'll send we have a blog that we wrote on how to help with due diligence, so we can get that out to you. Maybe that'll help. That'll probably be I wouldn't say it's a book, but just more like a checklist, because it's really good to work with a lawyer or a financial advisor. Yeah, so we'll send that out. We'll send out how to help with due diligence. We even had webinars on it as well. So since thank you for this, we'll just add it to the programming. So hey, I listen to how I come up with program is I listen to you all. You tell us what y'all want. And so okay. So more due diligence. Okay. It says, do you advise moving to the location? What do you mean moving to the location? What do you mean by that? I love this connection that's going on in the group chat. I think that's beautiful. I think it's amazing. The location, do you advise moving to the location of the deal? That's up to you. I mean, if you own it, I wouldn't say if you passively invest in it, but if you own it, I wouldn't find a deal where I would have to move unless I was planning to move there. So you should find a deal that's closer to where you are. So yeah, I wouldn't find a deal to move. I would, unless you're just happening to be moving to a different location and you find a deal there, but I wouldn't move solely because of the deal, if that makes sense. What influence do passive investors have? Is there any hiring? No, none. Typically with passive investors, they come in as LPs, and that's what the folks that come in on Vesterr, they'll come in. The folks that invest in deals on Vestors, they'll come in as LPs, and you don't have any say, so you don't have any voting rights. That's usually reserved for general partners. So, yeah, no. Mm-mm. So hopefully that helps. Okay. I think that's it. I want to be a silent investor. Oh yeah, a lot of people do. I create investor. Yeah. Yeah, there all the deals on Vesterr, you can become a silent investor. All right. I think we're good. I appreciate you all. Okay, I'm about to say it's always one question before I end it. Okay, thank you all so much. You all have an amazing evening. Thank you all who was with us in 2025, and I can't wait to see who'll be with us in 2026. So in future years to come, thank you all. I wish you all an amazing night, an amazing week, and you all have an amazing time. Hey, Adrian. All right, you have a good night. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And yes, this was recorded, and everyone will get the replay. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.